Hello and thank you for joining me. I'm Heather Forgan of stampwithnellie.com. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator based in the UK. And today I'm going to be using these supplies to make another one of these. It is a vintage styled suitcase. So a little bit of inking on there to give it some extra detail. And if I hold on that, then I can open it like that. And inside there's a little chocolatey cake treat. I made this because I had those treats and wanted to make a cute package for them, but also because of a travel themed challenge, and I couldn't really think of anything else that was travel themed. So I'm going to make another one. What you will need is a piece of card. This is pecan pie and measures 7 3/4 inches by 6 1/2. I will put all the measurements in my blog as usual, and there will be a link to that in the description. I've got 3 strips. The length is just happens to be around about the same as that, actually. Didn't realise. It was just whatever scrap I had in my box, and these are 3/16 no 3/8 of an inch, basically just a narrow strip. I tried 1/2 inch. It looked too thick, so I just went a little bit less than that. I've got some 1 inch circles. I've also got a 1/2 inch circle, but again, use whatever punches you've got. The circles I will be scoring and folding into quarters. Some of them I'll be using as halves, and some of them I will use as quarters. So I've got a few. I can't remember how many I needed, but maximum of 8 for each of the corners. I think you can get away with 7, but we'll see. And then I've got a scrap for my little tag there as well. Okay, so 2 of these for the straps that go that way, and we've got my handle as well. Okay, let's get on and make this now. So I've got my paper trimmer, and this is the 6 1/2 inch side, so my short side. I want to score that at 1 1/4. So I can either do it this side, 1 1/4, or I can do it that side, 1 1/4. Okay, 1 1/4 there, and actually I'm just going to swivel that around and do 1 1/4 that way as well. Okay, then on the long side, I'm going to do 1 1/4. I'll just do it this way this time because I'm just going to move further along. 1 1/4, and then 3 1/4, and then 4 1/2, and then 6 1/2, which coincidentally leaves 1 1/4 at that side too. All right, so we need to fold and burnish these score lines. Okay, and then get my paper snips. I'm going to cut up each of these score lines there. So just to that score line. Okay, so straight up all of these. Just to there. Like so. Okay, so we have 2 rectangles I'm going to tuck out of the way, and then on these 3 squares I'm going to just take a little bit off either side, just a little wedge like that. You don't have to be precise on that, which is just as that, because I never am. Those treats, those chocolate cake bar treats, I got from B&M, in case anyone is interested. Right, so it now looks like that this side. I need to do exactly the same the other side, but first I'm going to also trim these down roughly halfway. Okay, so again, tuck those out the way, roughly halfway, just to take down some of the bulk. Okay, so we now look like that. I'm going to just swivel that around and do exactly the same on the other side. Okay, and whilst I'm doing that, I will tell you that the finished box, now I've not actually written this down, measures I've forgotten. I'll carry on doing this and then I'll measure it. I'm not taking that score line quite right. There we go, that's better. I do love a challenge, whether it's a colour challenge, a sketch challenge or a theme challenge. Some are more tricky than others. And I did a travel one not that long ago, and that was taxing enough, but to come up with another one, so yeah, this was the best I could come up with. Right, so that's how that looks there. Where's my little ruler? I think it's 4 inches by 2 inches by 1 1/4. That way, okay? Right, so I am going to add a little bit of inking onto this and with pecan pie. And I'm not being particular with it. I want it just to look a bit random and splodgy. And some of it might get covered up with the corners. Okay, along there. Right, so it's just to make it look a little bit more battered. And then I'm going to use my pecan pie Stampin' Blend to just splatter it with some ink as well. Again, just randomly, or as randomly as I can do. Random's hard. There we go, that'll do. Right, so now let's just do a little bit of assembly. Get my glue. I'm going to add glue to this one, hopefully. Just got another one, it was easier. So adding some glue to 4 of these little tabs to start off with. Okay. And then we're going to build that. Put that round like so. Line up your edges and give that a moment for the glue to grab. Then do this one. Same again, getting that nice line there. And then we want to fold this Fold these two in a bit and round. Come on, there we go. Like that. Now I've got glue on my fingers. Oh dear. Just doing exactly the same, just lining the edges up together, like so. Give them a press. There we have it. Then I'm going to add glue to the remaining two little tabs. Is this the right glue? Yes, way. Like that. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is fold that down, closed like that, and then tuck that in there. Let's just do it this way, Heather. It's easier. I just get glue all over myself. Oh dear. Tuck that down and then bring that round like that to get a nice neat fit. And then that down, that round. Now, I am not too concerned if there's any overhang on there. I just want it to be a nice tight fit. And then I can deal with that little bit of an overhang on there with my lovely sharp paper snips like that. All right, more glue. Well, it's battered looking anyway, isn't it? Right, I will deal with that. I don't want it to be sticky. Yes. Let's get rid of most of it. Nope, still there, still persistent. I don't want to rub too hard. That's it, gone. Okay, right, let's get to making our corners. So as I said, I've got 1-inch circles here. I'm going to bring my trimmer back in. I'm just going to use the score again. So with these 1-inch, I'm going to line it up so we've got 1/2 inch there. That's me scoring that exactly in half. Okay, I'll do a few. These ones I want to be folded again. So I fold that over, then I found this was the easiest way to do it, was just to fold it over rather than trying to line it up to score it again and get it absolutely right. So get that one out of the way. Okay, and then just line up that score line with that score line on there and burnish that. It's a beat up old suitcase anyway, so it doesn't really matter that it looks a little bit rough and ready. So with these two, and only these two, I want to cut up that score line. Go away. So I'm cutting up that score line there, just to the middle, like that, okay? That one is going to fold over like that for my corner. So this is the back, this is the front. These two corners here are not really involved in the mechanism at all, so I can do that with them. And again, there'll be a little bit of overhang there. I can trim that off. All right. So let us add glue to all of this. All right. I think maybe tweezers might be an idea, not to get glue all over me, if I can find it. where's my cut? This is the one I cut. Yes, there it is. Okay. Right. So I want my join to be on that side. I want everything to be nice and neat at the front there. Done that wrong. That was the one that was going to come over. So I'm just folding that on to the lines of the box there, so that it's all glued down like that. And then, as I say, I can trim that a little bit off there. Okay, so that's one done like that. I need to do exactly the same on the other side. Okay, so glue on all of that. As I say, we're doing it this way on these two corners only because they do not affect the mechanism of the box opening. So put that one down and that one round. Like that. Just make sure that it is all nicely glued down. And I don't have an overhang on that. No, don't have an overhang on that one. Okay, so that's the front two. As we are looking at our box, the handle will go on the top there and the opening here. Just to give ourselves a bit of orientation, I will just add this, and I'm folding that in half. So, doesn't have to be precise. And I'm adding a little bit of glue to one half. And pop that roughly in the middle there. Like that. So it's only been glued to this bit. That bit will be able to lift to help us open the box. Again, as I say, that gives us a little bit more orientation so that you know what I'm doing. Okay, right. I am going to, on these ones, I'm going to cut one section out completely. All right, like that, because I want that to go on there like that. Yeah, is our lid opening there? So we need to make sure that we're not gluing over that there. All right, so again, glue on all of it. Pop it on the corner like so. Just make sure that it's glued nice and flush to each panel. All right, do the same on that one. I need to do a little bit more scoring. Let me just do that and I'll come back. Right, I've done a little bit more scoring and cutting on there. So that was the quarter that was left over from there. So I've cut some of them into half already. And this one, I need to take that quarter out again. Like so. Okay, so this is the same as the last one we did. Need to have that gap there. All right, so glue on all of it. And my lid there. No, closure mechanism rather. So I'm making sure that that is nice and firmly down on that corner. So we've got halfway there. These ones, so again, we need to make sure that we've got nothing covering those bits. So that's why I've done some in half already. That's just going to go on there. And one of the quarters that we already cut is going to go on there. All right, so I'll just do those two. So I'm trying to make that go a little bit over the edge. I don't know if you'll be able to see that. So it's slightly further over, but it just means when it's closed, it looks a little bit neater. And take a smidge off that. I didn't cut that very straight. And then this one, sissy left over from the last corners we did, can go in there. And again, I'm just letting it overhang just a little bit so that you see less of the base layer through it. Smoke and mirrors. Right, same with this one. A half circle on the outside. And that quarter we saved. On the bottom. It's a simple box, it's just these little details take the time, but I think they're worth it. Right, and to our final two, again I've got a half that needs to go there, and then we'll put a quarter in there. Okay, so straight edge to straight edge, like so. And I need to chop this one in half. Then this little quarter on like so. And then same this side, we've got this half to go on there. Edge to edge, slide that up just a smidge. And then final one, this little quarter is going to go on there. And again, I'm going to slide it down just a little bit and over just a little bit so that there's less of a gap. All right. Whew. Now for our straps. So I think I'd punched 7 or 8, I can't remember. So I overestimated anyway. I've got 1.5 left. Okay, let's get on with the straps then. So we've got our little bit there. This is going to fold down there. So I need my handle to go there and my straps to go around there. Now, I'm not going to start there. I'm going to start here. And just decide how far from these corners you want that to go. Give that a little bend. And then I'm going to add glue. More glue. More sticky fingers. And then I'm just going to continue that down a bit. Not all the way, because that would just be disastrous for me. Press that down. Give it a moment. Oops. Like that. Okay. Then that over and press that down. Then I'm going to need a bit more glue. Fold that around and press that down. I'm going to get my other snips to snip that off there. Just make sure I've got it fairly straight and lined up. Okay, let's open this header, it'll be easier. And again, I want to just leave the tiniest little overhang there. And obviously that has come unstuck. So it's not left me an overhang. Be fine. All right, now this bit here will go like that. That's absolutely fine. Not a problem at all. Okay. It's going to look fine when it's closed, and nobody's going to care when they open it because they'll have the treat. All right, so my last bit. I want to cut a little bit at the end here. No science to it. Okay. Got a bit more. Take it to a real point, or nearly a point anyway. That I want to have roughly halfway, and then that to there. Ooh, that was a good shout. So we've got a double over there, and we've got a slight overhang at the back. That I will try and make sure we line up, and then chop that. One strap. Okay, and then we'll do exactly the same with the next one. Okay, so again, this is my front. I'm going to start here and work round. Alright, so we now have our two straps on. We now need to think about our handle, and then we can do the tag, and then we'll be done. Right, so again, this is the same width as the straps, and I'm going to score this at 3/8 of an inch, and then at 3/4 of an inch, and then I'm going to measure roughly between those two, so that's roughly 2 inches between there. Yours might be slightly different. So I'm going to do 2 1/4. So what was that? I was at 3/4 plus 2 1/4 would be 3 inches. Then 3 3/8. And then 3 3/4. I'm going to chop. So we're going to have that bit glued down, that bit going up, that bit going down, and that bit going flat like that. But I want to add a little bit of a curve to that middle section there. Try and take it a little bit further down to that score. So it will sit like that. Okay. A little bit of glue on there. I'm just going to do one at a time. Add that in the middle, and I'm going to line up across that. Give that a moment before I do the other side. So add glue on just that little end panel there. And line that up in the middle, edge to edge, there. All right, so I let that settle whilst I do my little tag. So I've got a scrap of crumb cake, and this For You is from the Keeping Tabs. I just pop that on there. And then this little die here is from Greetings of the Season. And it's a nice little fit for that. So I'm going to die cut that, and then we can put the finishing touches to this little project. Okay, so I need to distress this a little bit as well. So back with my pecan pie ink, add it round the edges a little. Should have brought back the last piece of grid sheet I used instead of mucking up a second one, and then just splodging it again randomly. And obviously don't want the other side to look brand new in comparison, so I'll do that. And what I might do is give it a little bit of a not exactly a crumple, but a wee fold here and there. Just loosen it up. That'll do. Then I have some of the Baker's Twine Essentials pack. This one, not the white, that's too bright. The white wants to play. It keeps rolling on. Right, so I'm just going to take a little loop of that through there. And you know what else I should do? Add some splats to that as well. A little bit more with that pecan pie ink. Let's go a bit. Oh, didn't mean it to actually do that, but never mind. That's better. ties that in again, and then just tie that around my little handle. To be roughly there, so let's just tie a little knot into that. Pass those through. Get your tweezers again, Heather. Yay. Let's make sure I'm happy with that sits before I tighten it. And then I can trim off that excess, like so. And then my finishing touches on this one. So not only the treat, forgot about that, but I think I need a bit more splodginess on the front of this one. That looks a bit more beat up. Yeah, finishing touch was adhesive back metallic gems, and I went with larger ones on the handle. Just pop that in the middle, press that down, and then another one this side. Oh, down in the middle, that will do. And then just on the ends of these straps, well, not quite on the end. Over a little bit, there we go, that'll do. And with the other one, I just actually pulled up the end there, just to distress it a little bit more. That's that. Last thing we need is our treat. Okay, and just make sure that I haven't glued anything down that shouldn't be glued down. Pop that treat in there. It's a snug fit. All that extra packaging in the corner. There we go. And there we have it. I have 2 travel themed little snack packs, treats, just for you. I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. If you have, please give me a thumbs up. If you're new to my channel, please click on that subscribe button, click the bell and get notification the next time I upload a tutorial. Until then, please do take care. Bye bye.